Welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Prof channel on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. So I'm just going to get right into it today. I've been meaning to do this video for a while. I want to talk about my experience at the Goodwill Bins, Goodwill Outlet Bins. People use the word bins because when you go there, I want to go through the whole thing. Let me talk you through what you go to the Goodwill outlet, and people call them the bins because when you walk in, there are like these blue bins that are about 20 feet by 6 feet, and there's a bunch of them all over the place. They don't have display cases like at a regular store or a regular Goodwill. It's just everything's sort of laid out in bins. So you walk in, and usually there's big carts to the left when you walk in. So like picture like a grocery store cart, only like 1.5 times the size of a grocery cart. And if you go late in the day, they may all be taken. I've been to Goodwill outlets where you walk in and there's none. So if you're going, one thing I would recommend, which I love IKEA bags. I would take a bag and put a couple IKEA bags in there just in case. And so you take this big shopping cart and you put it to the side, and then you go through the bins and you see it's basically Goodwill Goodwill inventory that's been sitting that didn't get sold. That's what it is. So, and it's kind of dirty and gritty, but the prices are amazing. The prices, they basically charge you $1.25 or $1.50 per pound of clothing, and the books are like I think they're 75 cents a book, and sometimes they have a lot of books. And the one thing that happens, the activity there is like at a Goodwill store when they bring out a new cart. Here they bring out new bins, so there's usually a whole bunch of them. So they usually do like 6 or 8 at a time. So people line up as they're sort of setting up the new inventory, the new bins that come out. And so people stand around, and when all the bins are in place, you can dig through and find what you want. So what happens is there's kind of like a little bit of a feeding frenzy where people are kind of digging through the new inventory. And so people recommend that you wear gloves at the bins, and I agree. If you're the type of person that's going to look through new inventory like that, and you should, because that's pretty good stuff, is the new stuff is better quality inventory, then you should have gloves, because you just never know. Sometimes there's broken glass, sometimes there's like home goods that you could cut your finger on, and you can't really see beneath the top layer. So I basically have a bag, and in the pocket of the bag I keep a pair of gloves, and when like new bins come out, I put the gloves on just in case. And I think I had been to the bins about 15 or 20 times, and I cut my hand once. Not to dissuade you, it was a dumb freak thing. There was like a home goods thing, and it had like shells on the top of it, and I cut my hand on the shells. But it made me angry, and it was stupid, and then I had to stop what I was doing for like 20 minutes and find a Band-Aid, and it was just a total waste of time. So it's good to have gloves if you're going to go. Get a $5 pair of gloves. Kind of like, if you do yard work, those gloves are perfect. And the thing about the Goodwill outlets, the Goodwill bins, is the prices are amazing, and you can get really good stuff. I went today. I hadn't been in a while. I haven't been in 2 weeks because I've been focusing on listing. But I got about 30 pounds worth of stuff, and I got nice clothes. Not great, but good. It's $1 a pound. If you get good brands, upscale brands. I got a fashionable jacket, and it was probably $1.50. And every once in a while I get shoes there. I find good hiking boots. The stuff I find there, I have to tell you, is amazing. And the reason a couple of the good things that I've noticed at the Goodwill bins that I go to is not a lot of people know the good brands, especially in clothing. They're looking to buy by the pound, so a lot of them are looking for like the Gap. If you buy the Gap stuff for $1, you can still do well in that. But they just don't know a lot of higher end brands. I'm amazed at the good stuff that I find there all the time. It's just been, if you spend an hour and a half there, I always find stuff. So for me, it's very efficient and it's very inexpensive. So if you're new to this business, it really helps because it's very hard to make a mistake there because the price of the inventory is so low. And so I recommend checking it out. I mean, what have you got to lose? I hear there's a someone on eBay that does a YouTube channel that I respect that was sort of dissing. He said, "Oh, I don't get I sell high-end clothing and I don't get it at the bins." And I'm like, I don't look down on anyone. Whatever your business model is your business model. And if you go to the bins and you buy a bunch of stuff and you sell it and you make money, all the power to you. I'm just looking to find out what works. The only issue with me, and it might be with you as well, is it takes me about 25 half an hour minutes to get there, and then it's another 30 minutes to get home. So it's kind of a schlep and it's kind of a day. I always get a ton of stuff there. I mean, I just do. I got like 6 books today, and sometimes if they have a new shipment of books, I'll get like 30 books. So I definitely think it's worth checking out. And I have to tell you, I was surprised how much I liked it. I kept going back because I could spend a day and go to 4 or 5 thrift stores, or I could go to the Goodwill Bins and spend an hour and a half and get twice as much stuff. So for me, I was like, wow, I'm making, the money is great. I'm not spending a lot on the inventory, and it's pretty efficient. I'm not spending a ton of time driving to different places. I just went to one place, and I just, and I'm there for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and there's a lot of good stuff. I will tell you the one other thing is when I've been there on the weekends, it's kind of crowded. So it might pay to go at an off time. And I think during the week, the later it gets, the more crowded it gets. I think, after 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I think it gets pretty crowded. But, they're open all the time. They're open on Sundays. They're open on a lot of holidays. If there's one near you, check it out. You got nothing to lose, and there's really good profit to be made there. Anyway, so leave in the comments if you've been or what your experience has been like. I'm curious to hear because they're different in different areas of the country. They're different in different cities, and they're organized differently, place by place. So, some of them have strange rules where, you get a number and then you're actually assigned to where where you're supposed to be. I had heard that from a thrifter in San Diego, but I've never had that experience. The prices are amazing. There's a lot of good inventory, and you'll be surprised what you can find. That's absolutely been my experience. Anyway, sorry this video ran a little long today, but I hope you're crushing it out there and having a great week. And I will talk to you soon. If you like this video, please like it, and if you like the channel, then subscribe. Thanks again.